Euronics, and a very interesting match we have for us today. Joining me as per usual is going to be Harry, and Harry, I think that you're personally pretty excited for this game, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I think watching Divizon, I've seen them play a lot. I cast every single one of the cup games and also the group stages. You were there for a lot of it with me, Hugo. And Divizon were this team that somewhat came out of nowhere. They started off their journey as easy play, but then we did see them picked up by a different organization midway through when they switched over to Divizon. And they've been getting very impressive results throughout. They were the first team to qualify for the finals. That's like a very notable thing, especially when you have teams in here with the likes, of Penta, Alternate Attacks, Euronics. Having a team come out of nowhere being the first to qualify is always a very, very nice feat indeed. As well as that, they've only dropped one map throughout the whole time that they've competed throughout throughout the cups. So yeah, I mean, currently up against Euronics, they're undefeated. And I mean, I think a lot of the issue for Euronics is they've got maps they don't play, right? Divizon have maps they don't play as well, but all those maps have been vetoed. And so I feel like, talking about the vetoes, Hugo, wouldn't be too bad of an idea. No. So do you want to quickly let everyone know what maps we're going to be seeing today for their viewing pleasure? Or
I can indeed. So obviously this is a best of three, single elimination. Loser of this best of three is going to be going home, whereas winner will be making it to the grand finals alongside Alternate Attacks, which will be coming up, of course, later this afternoon. But the first map we are going to see is Train, and that's Divizon's pick. And Harry, let us know, what do you think about that?
Well, Train's quite a good one, in all honesty, for Euronics. They've had a good bit of success on it as well. The real thing that they had to watch not happen is not give Divizon cash. Euronics, they don't play cash. They haven't played it once throughout any of the cups so far. Divizon, they're 4-0 on cash. When you look at Train, currently they're coming in at 1-0 in this league on the side of Divizon. So they've played it once, they've won it once, haven't really had too much exposure to it, but picking it, I do think they have something up their sleeve. Euronics are 2-1 on Train, which is probably one of their better statistics when you look at it. So, they do have more wins, but they have only got that kind of, a 66.66 recurring % win rate, which, isn't too bad. But when compared to the 100% on the side of Divizon, I do think they've got something up their sleeve, at least for Train. I think it's going to be a really interesting match, though, because it was a nice pick for both teams, really.
Yeah, and as well as that, we got Cobble coming up next, which is Euronics pick, so that should be interesting. We've already seen a bit of Cobble today. I'm happy with seeing Train, though. Obviously a map that we've not really touched on too much, and a lot of caches is going to be what you can kind of expect going into some German CS, and we haven't actually got a cache in the series at all, as you mentioned, so obviously being vetoed by Euronics, who aren't a big fan of cache, as you said. But yeah, I mean, the players are just getting ready, as you can see on your screens now. They'll be sorting out whatever they want to do and working out maybe their game plan for the pistol rounders. We go into Train, and hopefully we shouldn't be too long before we kick it off with the game. We're early days, Harry. We've not really seen anything, but I think I can kind of ask you this question. Do you have a prediction on who's going to win each map?
Okay, I think it's quite tricky to make because we haven't really seen much of these teams on Train, but Divizon, in my opinion, have been performing phenomenally well. So I mean, it is kind of a little bit difficult. Like I say, they are this up-and-coming team that have kind of just appeared from nowhere. In my opinion, they are my favourites to win, but Euronics, they have got a good bit of experience behind them. They've been fielding some very good scorelines. Divizon might have only lost one game, but Euronics have made it through to every single final so far and then lost out at the last hurdle. Only issue is that kind of is showing a little bit of a reoccurring problem with the whole pressure of being in the finals and then losing it at the last hurdle. Let's hope that doesn't happen today. I'd love to see them have a fighting chance here against Divizon. First map's going to be Train, very, very 50-50. Cobble is one that both teams are good at. Divizon currently 4-0 on it in the league. Euronics, they're 6-2. So, both of them having a very good time currently on Cobble. The only thing is they've actually already played head-to-head on Cobblestone, and we saw it go 16-10 in favor of Divizon. So, that's why I am leaning towards them slightly. Even if it goes the distance and we see Mirage come up, Divizon, they actually haven't had a good performance on Mirage, so that's really where we have to see Euronics kind of make their stand, because they're currently one-on-one in it in the series. So I think it is entirely possible for Euronics to do this, but they have to see it through to that third map, and a lot of this is going to depend on whether or not they can pick up Train.
Yeah, so obviously it wouldn't be Harry if he didn't actually give you a proper prediction. And
there you go.
I'm assuming he means it's Divizon to
yeah,
to take this one.
I did say I'm leaning away Divizon.
Because what you like to do is you like to set out the base work, which is what I like. You know, you give everyone a bit of information for those who aren't aware of the teams, which I'm sure many people aren't. But you never really say, you know, what do you think? Is this going to be a 2-1? Is this a 2-0? What kind of series are you seeing?
Well, I mean, you know, I'm just giving the...
Oh, no, Harry, no. You're not doing this. You're giving me an answer.
Okay, no, I want to hear your prediction first. Because
you do this every time. Go for it.
No, I don't. I always lay down all the knowledge. I want to hear what you want to say. You know, Hugo, how are you feeling about it? What's your prediction?
My opinion is 2-0 to Divizon. But however, if Euronics pick up one of the maps and he goes to Mirage, I'm going to go 2-1 to Euronics. But if I had to give one, I'd say 2-0 to Divizon.
Okay, yeah, I'm in the exact same boat as you.
Oh, there we go. Jumping on the bandwagon.
That was literally what I said in my prediction, Hugo. You're bullying me. This is cyberbullying.
Watch out, I'll get a
Reddit cyberbullying. You will. It's coming.
Right.
Someone go ahead and make that. But yeah, so we should be getting in any minute now. Really between these two teams, they do have a little bit of a history, like we say, in the sense they have played together, and every single time they have, Divizon have beaten Euronics. But I mean, you know, they are both here now to go ahead in the finals. The thing is, Divizon being this kind of new up-and-coming team does pose some problems of its own. Not only do they have a name that's really hard to say, but they also really haven't been in positions like this. So I'm going to be excited to see what those little heart rate monitors that they have fitted are going to be showing for these players. Yeah, I know,
Can we
right?
see
Exciting.
them on their bodies? Whereabouts is it attached? I'm not very techie with heart rate monitors. Are they attached to their arms?
I think it's like a suppository type thing.
Oh yeah.
They don't want to obstruct the hands, of course, while you're playing.
Oh, of course. So this is why this is why you requested to go to the LAN, because you wanted to fit the suppositories, right?
Definitely, yeah. Well, because that's the thing. It provides a very accurate measure of pulse from in there. So
not only pulse, but many other things as well. You know, discharge, everything really.
Oh, that is a gruesome image.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we should be hopping into this sooner rather than later. The players just getting ready. You can see the magnificent facial hair across a lot of these guys, actually. Oh, saying that, no, get off these two. I was just show me someone else. I was just talking about the facial hair. Go away. No, okay. Oh god, it's getting worse. There were some people with beards a minute ago, I promise. And it looks fantastic. And we should be getting into this fairly shortly. As you said earlier, Hugo, this is the second series of the night. The winner of this will be going through into the finals, which is truly exciting, isn't it?
I mean, you can even talk about that. That's just so weird. These two teams, Euronics have had a little more time in the scene, but Divizon, who knows? Definitely one of those. You know, they've really had not a lot of international experience. I guess this isn't technically international because it's in Germany, but they haven't really had a lot of kind of top-level experience. And there we go, Harry. You can see a couple of wisps of facial hair on that face, so you're okay. But yeah, they've not really had the kind of experience that teams like, for example, Alternate Attacks have, who are also in the finals up against the winner of this. So I mean, you can talk about the German scene kind of stagnating in the sense that they've been struggling to kind of reach out to top level. I mean, we obviously kind of got Mal Sports. Everyone jumps on that bandwagon. Not a German team, but you know, it's okay. You can always dream. But it's arguably fair to say that, you know, I guess Alternate Attacks is the best German team out there, and even though this matchup may not be close and we may see a bit of a stomp from a Divizon, I don't know if we're going to see. I don't know if we're going to see a close one for the final, because Alternate Attacks really do have that experience that both these teams may be lacking. But, I mean, we've really got to get down to the nitty-gritty, haven't we? We've got to get to that match before we make any kind of huge assumptions into this game.
Definitely so. I mean, a lot of it's going to come down to the kind of way this goes. Like we're saying, if you guys are just joining us, this is Divizon versus Euronics. It is the second series of tonight. And we've got some very, very handsome individuals on the screen right now, just chilling out for the time being. We're just waiting for the players to get in game. They're sorting everything out, but then we should be able to go live. We've already had a nice little discussion about the stats so far for this series. Once again, I'll repeat just a little bit of a breakdown of it all. Divizon currently, they've got one loss. They were the first team to qualify. Euronics, they've played in almost every single cup so far. They've made it to the final 3 out of 5 times, but then always lost in the finals. Their strongest maps, when you kind of look at it on paper, would definitely be Cobble And I suppose Train would be the two that you look at for Euronics. For the side of Divizon, it is Cash through and through, along with Cobble. So it is going to be one hell of a match so far. Just waiting for these guys to ready on up. I think we, Hugh, do you want to throw it to some music for a while? And then once we get on in, we can start this thing off. Just because, you know, we've kind of broken down everything there is to say. I don't want to be boring people too much before the actual thing does go live.
Again, just to clarify, we don't know when this game's going to be going live. This is live right now. This is the clean feed. So these players are literally right now getting ready. So hopefully it won't be too long, but we will just go for a short bit of music while you can keep all this clean feed on your screen so you can see what's going to be happening, and we'll jump in with you, jump in for you with the game very shortly. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're jumping into the game for you now. Welcome, this is Train, the first map here, and just kicking it right off here on the pistol round. Going to be jumping straight in. It is a 4-on-4. The bomb is going to be making its way towards the site, and we are going to be seeing a 4v3 now in play. Euronics, they finally take that man advantage. Bomb going to be planted, and Divizon, they're coming in for this after plant retake.
Yeah, bomb is down. Now, you have to watch out here. You can see flanks coming on through. Syken making his way out from behind, who for some reason is purple on the minimap. No one knows how or why, but this man looking to try and take his color advantage as he pushes on through. Gonna find 2 frags. Looking for a third. Trying to shut down Skrunk, who's playing over towards the pop dog area here. Just trying to bait this one out. Goes for the peek with the Glock. Might be able to find some damage, but Marky is able to shut him down before he can deny that defuse. Syken and Marky come together at the end there. Syken is also purple, which I love.
This is very colourful and wonderful today, but the round will be found by Divizon as they get the defuse there just with enough time. So good stuff to kick off the first round here of the first map of this series. And for those just tuning in, this is also a semi-finals match, best of 3 single elimination as per usual. Loser of this will be going home with only 1,600 euros, whereas a winner, they are going to be making it to the grand finals to compete for a sum of 7,000 for first place. And obviously alternate attacks, as we saw earlier, are going to already be in those finals. So a lot of pressure on these teams to make it through. But off into the second round we go. We're going to see obviously a little bit of investment here from Euronics. They did get that bomb down, so there's no reason to force up into this. And just pistols are going to be across the board. Bit of a pusher to be upper, and Syken, he's going to be ready to take a bit of that fight. Does get himself only 1 kill, sorry, before he goes down. And 3-man, he's going to be able to get that refrag there. So back into a 4-on-4.
Yeah, Ono actually picking up the M4 and he's throwing that across the field. So now they have a rifle to try and contend with at long range, which is going to come in handy. Looking like they're going to be rerouting in towards this A site potentially. They're trying to grab Pop. Skrunk just walking into his teammate. Not really sure what's going on there, but we're going to be seeing right now all 4 players gathered up, heading down towards Pop and now trying to make their way out over towards A. Fails does have that M4, which is going to come in handy at trying to dispatch a few of these Divizon members at longer ranges. The A site, of course, dominated by these long angles we can see right now. Okay, trying to break apart. I mean, when you look at the heart rates, oh my god, Alexar had a resting heart rate of 140. That is insane. But But anyway, that aside,
They took it while doing the drug test, clearly.
He's beaten like a hummingbird, but here we go. Marky going to start things off. Drops out Scrunk on the push, looking for a second. Otto next to full, but fails at putting that scavenged M4 to good use. Able to drop him out of the equation, leaving it now in a 2-on-3. The push coming on in. The rotate already underway as well, as the two B players in the form of Cressy and Keto both here to lock this one down. 20 seconds left. Euronics fast running out of time. And there we go. A stream of bullets to end them and stop them in their tracks. It's going to be the second round on the board for Divizon, and a nice bit of money farmed up despite taking 2 casualties.
Yeah, good stuff there, and long may they continue here as we go into the third round. The buy obviously coming out from Euronics after getting the bomb down in the pistol, so this is going to be a very lucrative one. They're going to have plenty to work with for the time being. It's just, can they convert it into the round that they really, really need? Again, this is a very CT soda map train, so we're expecting to see a bit of a one-sided affair in terms of rounds, so I can only imagine that will be coming into play, but this is going to be Euronics' chance to get back onto this scoreboard here as they set up for a bit of a default. Pressured outside of the B site. They have a bit of Ivy control as well. Nothing too spicy here for the Euronics team. And they're just going to be waiting for a bit of aggression, although maybe giving their own aggression. So we already see Scrunk maybe forcing his way down Ivy as the rest of the players, they start to split out onto the site. Keto will be kicking things off. Otto's going to be able to trade, but Alex is going to be able to drop that Ivy player. Now it's a 4v3, now favouring Divizon. And because that player was completely solo, there was no trade here. So Euronics, they are going to be stuck in a man deficit with no ability to put it back into a 3-on-3.
No one there to refrag that. It does mean, like you say, the man advantage going the way of Divizon here. Syken, the man with the purple minimap icon, tasked with holding down this B site. The push comes underway. He relays the information into the rest of his team, who are also equally as colourful. And now they're making their way on through, trying to hold this down. Bomb is going to be planted. Time fast running out here, but Syken finding nice damage out on a David K. And Otto tag them both down low. Nades raining on through. David K gonna fall. Now it's just 3-man and Otto. 3-man on site, able to find one. Puts it into a 2-on-3. Should be able to potentially spot out Keto here, and he does so. Finally connects with Alex R. In from the ramp, does find that frag. It's 1 versus 2, and Otto, that Molotov going to keep him away from the bomb. He has to try and make something happen here, but the defuse going to be coming on in just a little too late there. Syken does find him at the end as well to add insult to injury as it goes 3-0.
Yeah, great stuff as well. That was really, really close, but the Molotov's just going to deny entry back into the site. So now Divizon going to be able to triple it down. It is going to be the low investment from Euronics, knowing that they will have the buy up in the next round anyway. So they've got a bit of a quasi on their hands. The loss bonus is going to be up to 2,900 in the meantime. So even if they don't get a bomb plant, they'll have enough to go for a buy fully. But a bomb plant, well, that's the name of the game. Even a win at this point, these Tech-9s are definitely capable of doing so. The run and gun aspect of these are going to be perfect. Smokes are going to be thrown out onto this A site. You can see just fully covering off all these positions that CTs are trying to cover, but no players to commit with the push. Commit to the push with the smokes here, but there we go, late round. Smoke's going to be coming out. CTs are going to be expelling some of their nades to hold off this push. It's going to be a Pop Dog split coming out with a bit of aim main control, but the bomb, it's yet to make its way through. Finally, we start to see a bit of a push now. Alex R spots it with the AWP, unable to connect the shot, and he gets dinked in the process. 50 HP left at that long range, and they're just trying to catch out these T players with the bomb. In the meantime, it's going to get planted. Syken denies 2, but that's a bomb plant, and that's all Euronics needed from this round. They want a bit more. They will chase, but it's not going to quite be enough. All on Scrunk to defend this one.
He comes on in, finds 2, and now it's all on Syken. Oh, he gets the frag! Euronics! They take themselves the first round, and in a spectacular fashion as well. Oh my god, Scrunk, what did you just do? That was naughty.
Dirty stuff out of absolutely nowhere as well. With just that Tech-9 to play with, he's going to be able to pick up the round single-handedly. I was not expecting that, so bit shocked, but Divizon, they are going to be up on their 4-7, 3 pistols, Mag 7 and UMP in play as well, and Euronics, they are going to be living the high life with plenty of rifles to work with here as we see this push barrel out onto this A site. Close range pistols may benefit them, but David, he's going to kick things off, starting off on a good foot. Cressy trades, but Otto is right back on him here. There's just Marky left on the site to deal with. He is going to be a real player to keep your eyes out for, because he may be able to drop the bomb, and he will. There it is, out in the open. Keto comes in with another as with the Deagle, and now it's all on David, isolated and alone in a 1 versus 2. We're going to need a second clutch round in a row if we want to see Euronics pick this one up.
Trying to flank round, making his way around bomb train. Isn't going to be spotted out just yet. But then saying that, Keto and Marky both just collapse onto him. They set up the crossfire and take him down to get a 4th round on the board for Divizon and maintain that 3-round advantage at that. Of course, they did give it up previously, thanks to some wonderful marksmanship on the back of Scrunk. We can now see Euronics, they decide to try and force the issue here. They grab an AWP up on David K, dedicated AWPer for the side of Euronics, and then they also spread some pistols across the board to try and hold on to this one.
Indeed, and I'm not too sure. I mean, the resets obviously had a severe impact on them, but you know, the AWP, that's always a great gun to potentially get yourself some picks, and on that T side, you can pick that up, you can go for the pick, then you can throw it to a teammate if you fall down or get tagged up in the process. So it's a gun that you can really scavenge and throw out between players, so I really don't count them out, despite it seeing a one-sided affair. And you can already see the first kill going to go the way of David, taking down Marky straight off the bat now. So Euronics got that man advantage again, not favoured in terms of weaponry, but they could definitely make something work with this. And as I said, throwing over the AWP, Fails is going to now pick that up.
Yeah, just juggling it back and forth. A strategy that we actually see come out quite a lot. Putting that AWP to good usage, trying to spread its effectiveness across the team, taking these long-range engagements, and now it looks like they're going to be splitting out on towards this B site. B site is going to be a great site to hit here for Euronics. It's something we see them do a lot because it does guarantee at least a bomb plant if they can deal with this one player on site. Syken is going to be alone, trying to buy some time for the rotate to come through, but Fowler with the AWP drops out. Keto Otto as well, quick to deal with Syken on site, leaving it in a 2 versus 4 now. Cressy and Alex are faced with a decision. Do they go for this or do they try and save?
There's no way you can give it away to pistols here. You have to chase it out, but as soon as that fails, it takes down Alex. Oh, that's the nail in the coffin. Cressy, he's realised this. There's nothing he can do. And that just goes to show, I said, you know, you pull out the AWP, you get that pick, man disadvantage for Divizon, and, you know, then they start to crumble one by one, especially with that fast Tech 9 play on B. And no need even for Euronics to chase down this last player, because they have really screwed the economy over Divizon, especially after that reset. Actually going back on the reset for the CTs there. So double peeking to connected to clean out that last player. No saves coming out from Cressy, and a second round on the board here for Euronics, are very up and down, has now put Divizon back down to that, you know, basically $1,400 loss bonus and zero money in the reserves as well, meaning they have to force it up with a couple of pistols and a FAMAS, UMP, sorry. So not good for them at all, and Euronics actually living the high life here. Skrunk's even bought up a Mac 10. I'm not sure if that's because he has low money or if he wants to farm some more, but it's an interesting one nonetheless. Oh, okay, he just wants to farm. Fair enough. I mean, we're going to have a buy this round, but in the upcoming round they're going to be eco, so that, you know, that Mac 10 is going to be perfect.
Here's an interesting decision into this one. You can see Skrunk has fallen already. The early man advantage can be seized here for Divizon. They have to try and hold on to this though, and that can sometimes be harder than it sounds. You can see lots of aggression coming out right now from Alex R, who's gone very aggressively here, pushing up towards the CT spawn, sorry, CT spawn, what am I on about? Jesus. You can see he's making his way now up through toilets. He's going to be in prime position to try and exert some hurt out into Euronics. They're taking this A site. No resistance right now from Divizon. There's also a player locked over here as Alex R comes down pop. They are going to be waiting for it, but Fowler looks away at just the wrong time, goes for the peek with the AWP in hand. It's going to be biting the bullet there, and now Alex has to try and take this corner. Does have the AWP to play with. Going to be able to find a second. 3-man falls as well. Now it's 2 on 5. Bomb ticking away. Alex Arch still trying to put this AWP to good use. Goes in for the peak. Legs it. Takes out the Deagle. It's going to get taken down. But ultimately, the rest of his team are there to compensate for that shot. And they do manage to find the frag. It's going to go 5-2 as the rounds just going back and forth for the time being. Divizon, they hold on to their lead once again.
Wow, this is really interesting. Back and forth. I mean, at least they start to pick up a little bit of money left on the CT side, but Euronics, they could even force out a buy at this point. Yeah, it seems that they will. They've got the rifles, and they're going to have one pistol, I think, unless 3-man wants to pick up some nades, but no, he's just going to go straight up for the AK with no utility, so not exactly too much of a risk. The rest of his team are going to be able to pick up the slack in terms of smokes and flashes, as well as Failzo, who's just on that Tech 9 anyway, allowing him to pick up the utility, but by and large, still quite dangerous stuff from Euronics. And kicking off into this round, we're going to see how Divizon can at least cope with this buy, and if they go for a fast play as well to catch them off guard, as they have been doing. Skrunk's already deep towards that blue train. He may be able to catch out that AWP player on the top of the train there, sorry, not AWP, but M4 player on top of that green train there, but still pushing up. There's 3 players in position to hold this one off. If Alex R gets the timing right with his AWP, it could be perfect, but in the meantime, Skrunk, he goes to the fight. Cressy shoots him straight in the chest, and Marky comes in from above as well. So Pick going to the CT side, and now the rest of the players, it's all a fake. They've run into the B side. It's Syken to try and hold it off from a far range, but Euronics, they need to get this bomb down. It will. 4v5, sorry, retake on.
Cressy able to find one out on a 3-man. They continue the aggression, and Cressy's lining them up, knocking them down. Going to be able to find 3. And now it is all on Otto. 1 versus 5. He's able to find 1 frag, goes in for the peak, but Marky not going to let him have the satisfaction. Takes his head clean off. He might be able to Molotov the bomb defuse, but it's all in vain as they do get it anyway. It's going to go 6-2 now as Divizon. They pick up a 6th round on the board. Euronics not going to have a strong enough economy to buy up into this round.
No, it's not great, despite getting the bomb plant as well. But obviously the back and forth nature of this map has meant that neither team is able to really sustain any kind of money on either side. And while it is supposed to be easier for the terrorists, they've just been reset a couple of times, so it's not gonna be a possibility for the time being. However, next round definitely will at this point, even without a bomb plant. So that's at least one positive. It is so cheap to buy up your rifles as a terrorist. You only really need 4,200 for kind of the bare bones buy with nades, unless you go for body armor, but that's not very typical anyway. So yeah, it's not an issue for T's to buy up in comparison to CTs, where it is far more expensive. And we are going to see a lot of pressure put up towards Ivy straight off the bat. Syken actually picking up something for the CT side though over towards B, so that's a man advantage, heavily relying on the favour of Divizon. And Euronics, they may be walking into the AWP of Alex.
Yeah, he's posted up here, does leg the first. Otto's going to be biting the bullet. He goes down. Alexar continues this aggression with the 5-7. Now taking it at close range. Bit of an error there because the P250 going to be coming up trumps. Marky tasked with trying to refrag that and compensate for his teammate. He does so, finds a second bomb, goes down, and 3-man, well, he gets completely obliterated there. 7-2 scoreline achieved for Divizon, but the bomb plant does come out for Euronics, and that was exactly what they were searching for.
Yeah, look at those 2 resets. That's really quite dire here. And yeah, that especially picked up on the fact that they've kept 4 CTs alive for 3 rounds in a row. That is how you keep money going, and look at the benefit from it. Divizon, they are going to be on 6 to 7k each. That is pretty aggressive. So good stuff so far. And Euronics, obviously, as I said, going to pull out this buy. The bomb plant not really affecting anything, as they all have $800 spare aside from Scrunk. So it's not been too much of an effect, but they can obviously use that extra money in the upcoming round if they do happen to lose this one. But either way, Divizon going to be switching up the pace. Bit of aggression over towards A main. We have 2 players pushed up. Alex as well with the AWP, and he could get caught out with a nade in his hand, but he is going to get away with it. At least 2 of his teammates pushing right into this A main area. But surely Euronics have got to be hearing this. Surely they've got to have some kind of information on the whereabouts of Divizon here.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can already tell Scrunk and Fowles are both just posted up and ready. But those smokes, as long as they keep laying them down, this A site completely off limits. They can't push through. They have no information as to where Marky or Cressy is. They are, of course, going to be pushed right up next to these smokes with the crossfire in full effect. The remaining 3 members of Euronics who aren't preoccupied with this smoke, somewhat landlocked over in towards that B site. It's somewhat been relegated over towards there, Pop Dog being their only other avenue of approach. So it is going to be quite hard for them to split out effectively onto this A site if it does so come down to it. So I'm going to guess B will be the site in question. They put some hurt in towards Pop just to check it on out. David K hops down, does try to spot something out. And Divizon, they fall on back. They read the situation very well. Are going to just be ending this aggression while the smokes and flashes raining in towards B are going to just be telegraphing the play here. Syken alone, tasked with holding down this site. The fake looking like it could be underway as it is stacked up in towards Pop now.
Yeah, push coming out, although we still got these CTs posted up, ready and waiting. Alex, he's going to wrap around the back of the train, and timing getting the better of him, though, but he pulls out the pistol, chases. The bomb's going to go down regardless, and David and Fels are both combining to make a deadly duo, a kill each, and Cressy and Keto, if they don't find themselves a pick really quickly, it's going to have to be a full save. I think it is almost a full save at this point now. You do see Cressy at least situated outside of the CT spawn just to wait for an aggressive rotation or a push back into that spawn to chase for frags. But Euronics, they haven't even built up an economy yet. They don't want to be doing that. They just need to hold on to their guns, as many of them as possible, and back off through the A main position, which will be the best avenue to save down, or IV at this point. But they are going to be at least able to catch up Cressy as he pushes a bit too big for his boots there through the CT, and Keto getting away with the AWP, and I think that's a bit of a misplay from Cressy. You're going to want to keep 2 players alive, at least, to be honest, on these kind of saves. The positive is they do have enough to buy regardless, so even though Cressy did go down, it's not going to affect their buy in this round. Still, it's a bit of a wasteful one, to be honest.
This time, though, we're going to be seeing a double op setup in play on the side of Divizon. It's going to leave them in good standing as both Keto and Alexar opt to take the AWPs over towards this A site. We can see Syken playing B solo as per usual. is looking to be rotating just a little bit late because he had to fumble around in spawn grabbing that weapon. And I mean, who knows? He could potentially be paying the price for it here. He can't push up as aggressively in towards his B site just yet. And as the smokes and flashes rain out on towards A, having him a little bit delayed does mean now he's having a float round connector in case of a rush. So this B site is going to be substantially less in down. Keto is going to be dropped as well as Otto makes his way out through A main, finds 2 frags on the back of it. Marky finally able to refrag, and now the push in towards B is going to be underway. 4 remaining players for Euronics here already teaming onto the site. Sycud gets tagged down low and finished. And now it's all on Cressy and Marky. 2 versus 3.
Yeah, this has got to be a save again, even though it is not a huge man advantage deficit. But you can see they just want to find themselves a quick pick. If Cressy can get one quickly, then they will commit. If they're going to lose one, then no, it's going to be the full save from the last remaining player. So let's see how this goes, actually. It seems like they definitely do want to commit to this. So Flash going through the smoke. Cressy, he's going to go for a bit of a push, but his teammate's already down. However, he's too deep into the site. There's no time for him to save. Skog is going to finish him off, and that will be a 7-4. So Euronics getting another one on the board now to play with, and Divizon, their money... Oh, God, what can you even do with this one?
It is going to be tricky. I mean, the area they need to try and address is Sycud being alone on that B site. He's been working it quite well and being able to hold it down, but the issue is they have him there, then they always lose a player over towards A, and then he has to fall back and hold a much more passive location. They've tried to remedy that this time around by sending a second player over towards that B site, and oh, there we go. The guys at the studio in Germany just going to be bringing up the menu for you all just to take that into, just take it in, reminisce in their art form. It's going to be a 4-on-4 now as Falzek quick to refrag things out. As you can see, Euronics making their way on towards this A site. Marky trying to do what he can, but ultimately he's going to be flanked onto as 3-man pushes around the back of Greentown over towards Ivy. Looking for this frag. Marky's going to fall at the hands of Otto, leaving this down at 2-on-4. Both players on the side of Divizon going to be less than ideal. Max 7 and a deagle between them.
Yeah, no one's going to be walking into this crosshair though. Kito's just holding off towards the CT spawn. Last time we saw Cressy in this position, he pushed a little bit too much here and got taken down. So it's looking like a round for Euronics once again. 7-5 is likely on the board. And yeah, bring these pistols into the next round and the Max 7. No real reason to chase for this. Max you're going to get as a gun, but I doubt Euronics are even going to chase this one down to... get themselves some exits. It's not really enough to kind of stop. And yeah, you should see that. Look, 3-man, he peeks, he realises there's a deagle there and goes, no, not worth it. If he's only got a deagle, I don't care about him saving it. Let him save the deagle, and he runs away. So that is going to be the round regardless for Euronics, but Keto just making it out of there alive with a couple of seconds remaining. They're almost getting chased down. So 7-5. Money not good again for Divizon, and this is a lovely escape menu there. But a little bit of investment is what we're going to see. PT50 going to be bought up.
Yeah, I mean, not really much for the side of Divizon to take into this one. Keto with the deagle being the diamond in the rough. He does, of course, have the armor. There's 3 other deagles in play and a couple of P250s. And Divizon, they are pretty good with these deags, so you can't count them out doing any damage just yet. But still, I mean, the sheer firepower on the side of Euronics and how aggressively they've been playing this does bode well for them. And now as we continue into this one, we can see Strunk once again, the man who's been entry fragging like a machine, pushing out on towards this site, does have the AK in hand, flashes himself out, and just playing around these smokes brilliantly, not going too deep into the site, but he doesn't account for Alex Side, been waiting patiently in the corner, and now the frag's going back and forth. It's all going to be on Cressy, 1 versus 3, trying to come from behind. Falza does hear him though, and I think they know he's making his way through Pop Dog, saying that. Maybe not. 3-man's going to go to check it and does find the frag anyway as it goes 7-6 now. Euronics only 1 round behind Divizon, and finally attack pause is going to be called in.
Yeah, that's a long time coming there, but at least they'll have a chance before it gets a bit too late, as we can already see they're just chilling. I like the new mic placement on top of the head. That's a new strategy if your forehead has a mouth, but I don't think his does. So yeah, these guys on Divizon, they look very, very tense, very... I mean, not exactly reveling in their happiness despite, doing quite well so far. But again, we are early days, so just taking this tactical time out to work out what's going wrong, sort out their issues, maybe just chill out for a little bit. You can see the guy far on the right, not really having too much to say, but he's just kind of sitting there, having a nice time, like they all are. And I think this will be greatly improved by borrowing Harry's koala onesie or whatever he's got. What have you got?
Right now, it's a reindeer one.
It's a reindeer one. You're going full Christmassy for this event.
Yeah. I did. I went full on Christmas for the broadcast. It's reindeer. It's white, and it's lovely. I have to actually say I own more onesies than I do anything else, any other clothing item. It's a fun fact. But that aside, Hugo, I don't know what area of casting you just forayed into. It's not play-by-play. It's not color. It's not anything. It's more of the David Attenborough style of human observation.
Spice.
Yeah. But for the time being, I mean, Divizon, their backs are against the wall, in all fairness. This is a map they've had, you know, an all-right time on. They've only played it once, though, so I was a little bit curious when they decided to pick it. We saw Dust 2 and Cash both banned for them, two of their strongest maps, and I suppose, I mean, really, they're the kind of maps we saw them playing, so we haven't really seen much of Divizon on anything else. They're currently 1-0 on Train. They've also had great success on Cobble, but I mean, that was Euronics map pick in the first place. So it is a fairly interesting scenario for them to be in. It does look like they're struggling a little bit, though. And I mean, we were saying they were going to bring something into this game, something that we haven't really seen yet. And I don't know if that's something they're going to be bringing out on their T side, but I mean, if they don't find anything soon, I do think they're going to be in with a real problem here, because Euronics, they're gaining their confidence, and we're starting to see, you know, a very, very strong T side come out from them.
Yeah. Hopefully this isn't too long, though. I mean, I'm not sure what the rules are, at least, because I assume it's meant to be 30 seconds. But as I say that, we go back in, so we're not missing too much. It's an all pulled up for fails and nothing on the side of Divizon. I'm never going to get a name right, Harry. You've infected me. And just sticking with the rifles. This time they're playing the round the same. They're pushing up aggressively at the beginning of the round, and if nothing presents itself, they'll just back off when the time is low. So it means it's even harder for Euronics to find their picks back onto the site. So I like this kind of style of play. Marky and Cressy both pushing inside A main. That's a lot of information as well gained, so they can just go to a team. Or guys, it's likely not going to be an A pick, but I think that may be incorrect as we see Ivy control and Pop Dog control. So if these teams split down through the Pop Dog with the combined effort from Ivy, that could be an easy A. So I think you don't even need main. So the information that they are getting isn't exactly the best information for that matter. So this is actually really, really smart from Euronics. Oh, spraying and praying. Alex does fall down to 22 HP, only getting 60 off onto the side of Skunk, who's just going to hold back. But meanwhile, the rest of Euronics are running inside of B. Syken, he has to hold the back line on his own. Molotov on the site, but it won't land just in time. It's not even going to land on the site. The bomb going down regardless, and fails are getting that pick as well. So now the T side are in this 5v4. They can just get aggressive in it as per usual here on this T side. You like to push up on Train in the post part, typically the most easily retakeable site, but not in this case, because Divizon, they are fully saving into this one. This is not something you see in a 4v4.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, I think they should make the call to save here. Mikey was able to find one frag. I thought maybe at that point they might try and go for it, but I mean, you know, they'd let too much time escape from them. They really need to deal with this B site. They've left themselves open to being faked numerous times because of just their rather poor hold and lackluster knowledge when it comes, not knowledge of the game, knowledge of where the enemy positions are. They don't have enough information. You see Syken, he plays it very, very passively. Not a bad decision, but the issue is, you see, when they come flooding into the site, he then takes the aim jewels, normally gets taken down, and then that opens them up to having the enemies flank through B, fake, you know, on towards the B site from A, and that's what we've seen them do many, many times. I think it wouldn't surprise me if we potentially see a second player make his way in towards that B site, and that's exactly what we're going to be seeing into this round. They reinforce it, which is what they needed to do. Hopefully going to make them a little bit less open to being exploited as much as they have. Syken as well playing much more aggressive for that extra layer of information to relay to the rest of his team. And now we're going to be seeing all 5 members for Euronics over here towards B. 2 of them dropping down in towards Pop, though, to exert some pressure over towards the A site.
Yeah, pick not being found either way just yet, but Keto's in a pretty good position. I like this spot to hold off onto the upper angle, and we may have Skunk walk right out into it as well. He's taking a bit of a fight towards upper B, but no one will be exposing himself just yet. It's not Harry's local nursery, and Skunk finally getting that first pick. He's going to run right into the site. All the rest of the teams will as well. Syken's the only person to hold this one off, as 4 players are going to remain here for the CT side. Bomb go down in the meantime. Syken, he's just on the other end of the smoke. He needs to go through, and he will flash himself as well. The orb still calling trumps as Velza. He's going to hit that no-scope right onto his face. Back into a 3v5, and these CTs, they're going to get caught out. Rushing through the smoke. Skunk will be there to greet them with a smile on his face and a gun in his hand. It will be Euronics pick up the rest of the half and actually take it 8-7 as well. So that's the half secured in their favour. And on T-side Train, Harry, what are we seeing?
We're seeing a very, very strong Euronics, and I think there's a lot of reasons that this is kind of, you know, the way that we're seeing this go. Now, Divizon, they have got a strong T-side on a number of maps, so, you know, we could very well see this go the other way, but there's no denying the fact that Train is CT-sided. So it is going to prove to cause a few issues right now for the side of Divizon. Plus, I mean, they haven't... The issue is, right, they were the first team to qualify, so they didn't have to play as many games as the likes of Euronics. And all the games they played were so concentrated across 3 maps. We've only really seen them play 2 others, and that was Train and Mirage, and they've played each of them once. They've won Train 1 time out of the one time they played it. Whereas, when you look at the side of Euronics, they played Train 3 times, they've won it twice. So we have seen them kind of play on these maps a lot more. And as a result, it does seem like maybe their map pool is just a little bit more deep. They're a little bit more confident. They've been in these kind of situations before, whereas Divizon, I mean, they haven't. So that is going to be coming into effect. In this pistol round, though, we can see Divizon sending all 5 players very aggressively over towards this B site. Now opting to slow things down a little bit, taking their time. Don't want him to run into anything just yet as they set up the smokes and flashes to make their way in, though. It's going to telegraph the approach. David K has to try and hold this down. Does have the CZ, but he also doesn't have a face left as Marky blows it clean off. Scrunk quick to refrag that one. Back into a 4-on-4. Bomb's going to be going down, and now the retake is underway.
Yeah, but look at this flank from Alex R. He's flanked all the way around the back of Connector. I think Threeman has some knowledge of it, though. He's holding the angle when he gets a headshot as well. It's all on Cressy. No Molotov for the bomb, and he has to find himself a pick before they get the defusal going on. But oh no, he's going to close it out. That will be Euronics to pick up the pistol round there. Something we were not expecting. 9-7, and only losing 1 player in the process. Fails us on 1 HP, but at the end of the day, he's standing tall. So Euronics, they are set up perfectly to get into the second half here in Divizon. They got the bomb down, so that's at least 1 positive. They'll be buying up in a 1 round's time, but it still means they have to give away another on the eco, which is not what they wanted to be doing. We can only expect to see a 10-round streak here for the Euronics side against Divizon 7.
For the time being, though, it is going to be a case of can Divizon make a comeback here. Marky gets tagged down low in mid very early on, and already it's slowed down the play that Divizon were going for. You can see Cressy was keen to peek out of Pop Dog, does get caught a little bit in the crossfire, and now they're going to be rerouting once again, potentially up towards this B site. It is all going to be on the lone David K to hold this one down. He has got a UMP and looking to try and make some money on these unarmored Divizon opponents. It could definitely bring home the bacon as they look to push on through onto the site. He should be able to spot out Alex R, who keeps peeking out, but by the looks of things, he's playing 4x3, so he doesn't see that. And it's actually going to find the first frag on a Marky.
I think it's actually his teammates supporting him and holding that upper angle, so he doesn't need to be exposed to it. So he doesn't need, even if he is exposed to it, he doesn't even need to take that fight. That seemed to be the setup there, because he had his teammates spraying towards upper, but then again, maybe they're trying to 4x3. But either way, these players will be walking into the mincemeat, and that will be them, of course. Keto's the only one to do any damage. The rest of them will fall short of that. And Euronics, yeah, 10 rounds on their board, as expected, losing just Scrunk. And now the buy coming up from Divizon, so AKs, Galils, UMPs, it's a real charity shop buy coming out.
Yeah, I mean, it isn't looking good right now for this side of Divizon, and we saw it kind of started off in a fairly strong way for them on the CT side, albeit quite closely, but then it's kind of started to fall apart a little bit. Euronics stringing together multiple rounds in a row, just helping to build up their confidence that much more. As we continue into this, like you say, the buy for Divizon is extremely weak. 3 Galils in play, a UMP, and I mean, it's just a little bit uncomfortable. They don't really have the necessary requirements to be taking these long-range engagements, taking these fights, and coming out on top. Right now, they're going to be set up towards this A site. 2 players over towards Pop, 2 at A main. And then a lone Alex R over at Ivy trying to kick things off. Fails is there with the AWP, spots him through the smoke, and he's going to be eliminated from the equation very early on. They lose 1 of their 3 prongs for this attack. Scrunk goes aggressive as well, and he should be able to spot out Cressy as he sees his feet. Oh, he's just going to hide in the corner. They don't check it. He's going to find 1 frag, and that could have been very bad for Scrunk there, but he just keeps going. He keeps killing, and there's no stopping this man. He's going to be on 2, and now it's all on Cressy. 1 versus 4. Make that a none versus 4.
Nice clean up though from Euronics, losing 1 player in the process, which is going to mean they can retain a lot of their CT side economy, and that is very important as well, considering Divizon now going to be on that eco after that first buy loss. So look at this, his pistols out, bit of armor on Marky with his PT50, the rest are going to be on some Deagles and a PT50 on Alex. He saves a little bit for the AWP, but wow, this is not turning out to be a very fruitful half for Divizon. I think Euronics, I mean, we aren't over, and I don't want to call it like it's over, but they are looking like they want to close out this map ASAP, and they are doing a perfect job of it, exactly that. Failsa is going to hit around with a kill there, so Alex are going straight down, and Euronics, they are only going to follow up here as we see the mints come out as Divizon, they walk into this stack.
Yeah, it's 2 on 5. Keto and Psychid both have Deagles. Both also have fairly calm heart rates, a little bit above average, just in case you guys are wondering. It's going to be a 2 versus 5 for the time being. They're trying to reroute over towards B, but there are 2 players here to hold this down in the form of Scrunk and David K. 2 guys you don't want to be messing with. The Deagles in the hands of Divizon. These high-powered hand cannons going to be the optimum method of choice for dispatching of the Euronics members in towards this site. You can see they're setting up for this take. 50 seconds left, and that smoke raining on through, just going to delay it that much more. And there we go, Syken goes for the peak, can't quite find the kill on the back of it. That's going to be bombed down. Keto tries to cross, but David K with the Galil, just popping heads for days, takes it to a 7-12 scoreline. Euronics with a 5-round lead.
Great stuff there, and now Euronics, I mean, they are looking good to clean this one up again. It is going to be a bye, so I think this is probably, I'd say, not the last bye for Divizon, but probably the last chance they have to get back into this map. If they lose this, then 14-7 is looming over their heads, and yes, they'll have a bye up then, but even so, it's 14-7, especially on the CT side. It's something that you don't see teams come out of very well often, but let's see how it goes. Let's see how this bye run goes. They could flip it on its head and bring it back to a win themselves, so we have a bit of aggression from Fels with the AWP, and I like this. Flash allowing him to get into this position, but there's going to be no T's taking this challenge. However, there is a player just holding on to it. He knows the potential of a pushed-up player here. It's Alex R. But look at it, back and forth. There we go, Fels lands it. That's Alex going down, and the man advantage residing in the side of Euronics once more.
The time being, we can see 3 of them making their way towards B. Marky eager to rejoin the rest of his team, but it is going to be heard thanks to the aggressively pushed up Falza in towards A main. He heard all he needed to hear. And you can already tell they've rotated a 3rd player over towards B. They've also got some reinforcements in the form of, believe that Scrunk down in towards the Pop Dog area, trying to hold things down. Falza with the AWP in hand, drops Syken on his push into the site, not going to give him any chance before he delivers the swift good night. We can see right now, it's a 5-on-3. The aggression continues, bomb goes down, but David K on the back of the Galil finds 2, looking for a 3rd, and it's Otto to get it. As it goes to a 7-13 scoreline, they get the bomb plant, but they don't get the round win. And right now, we're seeing a battle of attrition, and Divizon, they are losing.
Yeah, the little bit of BM as well from David, just spamming that defuse. Finally pulls it out. 13 rounds, 100% secured now. No chokes from there. And Divizon, they've got that money, so they buy a little bit more preemptively than I supposed, but it's still going to be, you know, very, very close to the end of the match, with Euronics leading it almost in double the rounds, and they will be attempting to get to said double in this exact round. They haven't even gone for anything crazy like auto snipe, which is a surprise when they have so much bank to play with. They've just still got the single AWP and not even double AWPing, which is something that's not even just a crazy strat. It's very normal to see a double AWP CT side on train. So interestingly enough, just playing the safe game, and again, we are going to see Divizon push that onto this A side. It's a fast one. They haven't got the smokes down, and Scrunk, 2 kills to him. He lines them up and knocks them down. Although follows up, there's 1 return kill from Marky, but by and large, just going in the way of Euronics. A follow-up, though, from Keto. That's pretty important. He's taken down Scrunk, so now things are starting to get a little bit easier for Divizon as they start to push back out onto this A site here. Otto is pushed up, however. The bomb is under the control of the CTs. That is going to make things a lot harder.
The issue with trying to take this A site with so few players, though, is just checking these angles. Otto in from Old Hell takes out Marky and then fails with the AWP. Quick to deliver death straight to your door. Keto, he gets taken down. It's going to go 7-14, and Euronics, they find themselves 1 round away from map point.
Yeah, this is almost said and done here. Divizon didn't get that bomb down. Their money is considerably lower. Obviously, you can't see the nades that they have, but if you look at the money, you can tell that the nades are very limited on players like Keto and Marky, for example. So that's never good. But, I mean, Alex must have some. He's on that Deagle. He's going to have a little bit of spare cash. And Euronics, they are not sparing any expense. They are not struggling in any sense of the word here in terms of having this full buy up. And no worries, be happy. Divizon, they may be coming into this B side with 1 lone defender. This may be a chance they can get an avenue of attack finally working out in their favour.
Here we go. It's going to be David K playing on top of the ladder. He tried this position last time. Now it's not going to be coming into effect as Keto starts things off the right way. Eliminated David K. Failed flash from 3 men as well. Does mean that Syken, quick to capitalize on it, drops him out the equation, putting into a 3-on-5 now. 2-man advantage for the side of Divizon, and suddenly it's looking like they might be with a real shot of winning this. Otto is able to eliminate Marky, but then Alex R quick to refrag. Falza coming in with the AWP, finds himself in a duel with 2 players. Spots out the first, goes for the second, but Alex R is there. Deagle in hand, primed and ready. Scrunk in on the retake, finds 2. It's gotten dangerously close. He picks up an AK for his troubles, but he doesn't know where Cressy is. This is going to be a real issue as time ticks away from him, and Cressy goes for the peak. He finds the frag and gets an 8th round on the board for Divizon.
Very ballsy play there from Cressy, actually committing to the fight, even though there wasn't a bomb defusal, though he knew that the player was at least running around because of those footsteps, so decided to go for the risk factor, and it worked out very well. And yeah, look at Scrunk. This is typical Scrunk. He is always top fragging for Euronics. He's out there with 26 and 14 right now, having the time of his life, and in such an important map as well, the first of this best of 3 series. He is really stepping up to the plate here. But once again, a fast B push is going to be coming in. We have David here to defend, and he is going to be alone. No, he's not. He's dead. He's getting shot in the face by Alex. The rest of them going to be filing right in. We have Freeman to line them up. Why would Alex continue to push if he was 10 HP? Who knows? Neither does Freeman, although he's getting the shots through the smoke. That's Keto to fall as well. And now 3v4 on players Divizon. They're just trying to hold off onto the site. The bomb's not even down yet. They need to cross that, and they need to hurry up with it as well. But Syken, he's going to get Freeman as he gets a little bit too big for his boots and pushes up too aggressively. Now, back into a 3-on-3.
Bomb finally going to go down after plant position as well. As you can see, you've got Marky one on back. For the time being, it was looking like the flank was going to be coming out, but instead, Falza changes his mind. Scrunk and Falza here stuck in this 2 versus 3. Marky spots out Scrunk, but they combine, they find 2 frags, they leave it all on Cressy. They're being very overzealous with these peaks here, taking these angels, and ultimately it's come back to cause a real problem, leaving it all in the hands of Cressy now. Falza goes aggressive, is going to get taken down, but it's a lot to ask of one man to win this out. He's just whittling the time away, looking to try and get the 9th round on the board, playing it perfectly, throws out the nade, and that should be it. Cressy to clutch things out. That was incredibly close, much closer than it needed to be.
I want to see his heartbeat after that clutch. Jesus Christ, that was incredible, but either way, Division, they keep it going. 2 rounds in a row now, the reset not coming in for the most important round. The buy-up continuing, but Euronics, they are on their last buy as well. This is going to be the full M4 AWP buy-up for Scrunk. Nothing too different, nothing too out of the blue, and Scrunk, he's going to be peeking fast up towards B up on. With the way Division have been playing this one, this is going to be perfect. This flash combined as well, going to be set up well and truly into their position. But it's actually an A push, sorry. The rest of the T's are going out to Freeman. He's going to hold down the first 2 from the hell. Catches out a couple of kills. His teammate will fall beside him still, but Euronics, they're in a 3v4 now, and they've got to be happy about that one.
Oh, saying that, they've turned it around in a matter of seconds. Alex R with the AWP puts the hurt down as well. Now it's all on Scrunk. 1 versus 3. If there's anyone you want in this situation, it's going to be him. He pushes up through the smoke, completely undetected. Alex R ready and waiting, and he finds that frag. Say goodbye to Scrunk as he gets taken out. It's going to go 10-14. Divizon finding their footing, having a little bit of resurgence here on the T side, and actually resetting the economy of Euronics Gaming.
Yeah, that's a very important factor as well. So now back down to the eco here, which is not where they want to be by any means. And they have a bit of investment at the very most, but their buy will be coming out in the next round. So at least they have 2 buys left until the scores equalise. And that's going to be, I mean, the only silver lining here for Euronics. Aside from the fact that they're 14-10 up, so they're very close in closing out this map. But it's definitely not over, especially considering the dominance that Divizon have had on this T side so far. And let's have a look at least. A push into the B side again here. Just David. He can't connect a single bullet though, so I can taking him down. This Bison working wonders. He taps away. That's a long range kill as well. That's another $600 for his name, but Otto trades at least for the hand of 1, but that will be it here as they start to tap away and converge on his position. Keto to finish. Divizon 11 rounds on the board now to 14 here on the Euronics side. The buy coming out. This has to be a win for Euronics.
And as it says on the screen, ist das comeback real? I don't speak any German, but I think we all know what that means. We can see right now, it's an 11-14 scoreline. It's an 11-14 scoreline. Well, for the time being, it's looking very good for Divizon here. They've managed to get the AWP into the hands of Alex R as well, and since he's had that, he's been a pinnacle player for the side of Divizon. Just opening up these sites, using it to shut down these long angles, and this time he's been ready and waiting, watching for any aggression through pop. David K this time reinforcing Scrunk over here towards this B site, holding this down together as it has been a fairly reoccurring weak point right now for the side of Euronics.
Yeah, Divizon kind of wrote this out and they just seem to be hitting it time and time again, but the thing is, that will grow stale. If they continue to hit the same site after another round, if they win this round with a B push, Euronics are going to start stacking it. They are going to start playing this differently because they can't afford to lose so many rounds to the site that's supposed to be easy to retake, and they've really had no success on it on the CT side. So we are going to see a smoke go down. These players look like they're committing. The bomb is making its way as well. And that's exactly what you shouldn't do. Skronk jumping out in the middle of the site. Syken takes him down, but there's David to support. 2 kills for him. There's going to be an attempted follow-up. Akito attempting that bomb plant in the meantime. Actually gets off it. And David, he's going to fall. It's still a 3v3 though, so you can't count out Euronics of this one. But Divizon, they do have this bomb down, so the guaranteed money for the next round is going to be in their pockets. And now Euronics attempted bomb defuse and Molotov, forcing Keed out of position, but they don't even catch him on the crosshair. He repositions towards the back of the train. They don't take him down with that shot either. Fails and missing a key shot. Keto, he follows up. How is he allowed to do this? He takes 2 and fails her. He comes back in with one of his own, but they got the Molotov and the bomb. There's nothing he can do. Despite having a kit, he has no Molotov to extinguish the flames, and that will be the round for Divizon.
Yeah, there we go. Marky that inside to industry does finish him off as he tries to make a swift exit from the site there as it goes 12-14. I mean, Otto did have a Molotov there, and they used it to try and force Keto out of position on the site, and they didn't capitalize on it. And I feel like they wasted such a huge bit of utility. If they'd put a Molotov up into uppers to force back to players that were playing up there so they couldn't get that Molotov out onto the bomb, it could have been a very different outcome. But regardless, it is a 12-14 scoreline. Divizon, they are finding their footing, and they're coming back with a lot of force behind them, actually. It's going to be another force buy on the cards right now for Euronics. A little bit of a quasi. You have got some armor on 2 of these players, but everyone else just being relegated down to pistols. They are playing over towards this A site, just stacking it up. A very curious move, considering how often we've seen Divizon head over towards B.
Yeah, not really much loss there. That's the thing. The pistols aren't great for the retake, however, so I'm not too sure what entirely the decision-making process is, but maybe just hoping Divizon switch things up and hit this A site now that they know they're up against an eco. They know that a buy can't be on the cards here after so many rounds won in a row, and they are going to be correct in thinking that, but just edging the way out onto the site, it's going to be Marky trying to find himself a pick. Going to be successful in his endeavours as well, so that's Skrunk straight out taking out the equation. Fails her, however, replying with a bullet to the face. It's going to be Marky to receive that right in his skull, and wrapping around the back of the site is going to be Velzo looking for more. He's found himself a second, still not being able to retrieve himself a weapon to work with, but he's done so much damage here, and now backing off towards the back of the site as the bomb goes down as well. So a 3 versus 4 here with Euronics. While they may not have the weaponry, they definitely have the manpower.
Velzo next to fall, he gets taken down. Like you said, they did have the manpower, but it's being shut down left and right, leaving it all on Otto and David K to retake this one. Now it's all on Otto. He does have a deagle to play around with. It looks amazing as well, but he is going to be dropped as Keto finds himself 2 frags. He's become such a standout player for the side of Divizon, and there we go. There is the much-needed tag pause coming out from Euronics. We've seen so many just back and forth flows of this game, and now it looks to be like the ball is in Divizon's court.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't expecting Euronics to pick up this map, to be honest, but they've had a great job of, at least getting to 14 rounds. However, they're obviously having a lot of struggle with closing it out, and this is where kind of the experience is maybe going to get to them, or the lack of, therefore, because Divizon, they've managed to actually catch this one up. This is going to be a very crucial round, so obviously the pause maybe helping Euronics decipher what they want to do to at least try and fix the raging issue that they're having. And yeah, I can't help but say that Divizon, they've had a really good job in getting back into these past few rounds and picking it up to such a contestable scoreline. So shout out to them most definitely.
Yeah, I mean, they brought it back to a very commendable scoreline indeed. And I mean, I think this is going to bode very well for them. I was going to suggest a little while ago that they just, they play this one out, see what they can do. If they lose it, then they can put it down to very, very poor map choices. And then you head into Cobble, where they've had a lot of success, and just try to, refresh themselves, be ready for that. But, we're seeing them now do extremely well. And I think that's going to be a great confidence boost for map number 2, regardless of the outcome here. If Euronics take it, I think 3 maps is extremely likely. I don't think we're going to see this series be over in 2. If Divizon take it, on the other hand, after having such a good comeback, I really think we could see Cobblestone go their way.
I mean, it's really hard to predict it, to be honest. I want to see the buys coming out from both teams and just be refreshed on that before I want to make a solid one. But it is seriously going back and forth. So, yeah, I could agree with any argument at this point. We were not expecting such a close scoreline in this map. It was supposed to be probably a 2-0, to be honest, but it's gone the complete opposite of that so far. However, we are early days in terms of only on the first map, but I think we're going to be going back into the game in just a second. The guys on the Euronics side look a little bit more prepared. They look a little bit ready. And I can hear buys coming out as well. So, yeah, 14-13. Buys coming out for both teams. You've got the AWP up in play as well. What can Divizon do, and what can Euronics do to stop it?
Well, Euronics left their attack pause very late. If it comes into effect now, they could take this away from Divizon at the last hurdle. If Divizon take this, Euronics are going to be struggling a hell of a lot as we head into, some very pivotal rounds. It would take it to 14-14. Their economy would be very weak, to say the least. And I mean, you can really see the effect it's having on the players. The heart rates on both teams kind of going up a little bit. Well, for the time being, Keto start things off, drops out, fouls up, Otto quick to return, puts it into a 4-on-4. The push continues, but it has been slowed down very much so as they're just shutting down these players as they push into the site. Marky going to refrag that one back over 3-on-3, but the kill's going back and forth as Scrunk and Threeman combine. They find 2 frags between them now. It's all on Marky. He's going to shut down one. He's still got 2 players left to find. They're coming around from behind. They're going to go for the double pick, and he does good damage, but gets taken down 13-15 as Euronics, they arrive at map point.
Finally, after such a deficit, losing so many rounds in a row here, they're actually going to be able to pull out their arse and go. 15 rounds, it's looking very close to the end, but Divizon, they've still got the money to go for a buy. They pull out the AWP, they pull out the big guns. Euronics, while they still have it themselves, can they continue? Because right now, Harry, if they don't win this round, Divizon get this reset and put them back down to the terrible loss bonus, that's going to be overtime, almost guaranteed.
Yeah, I think, overtime still isn't off the cards. I mean, Euronics, whatever they've started doing is definitely working, whether that was just having a little timeout. But I mean, like you say, if they can put them on the economic reset, it's going to bode very well for them indeed. Time around, though, we've got the AWP on Alex R, making its way down over towards Ivy. Trying to find a frag there early on, but it can't. It does, however, pull 2 players over towards A side. As Marky takes out Otto, they know where the last remaining A player is. It's looking like it could be the site in question. But I mean, one thing to take into account, Hugo, is when you look at it, they're not moving very much right now. They found that frag, but they're not quick to execute on it. They don't want to let that go to their heads. They're really trying to figure this one out. Sadly, they might be being too smart for their own good, making their way over towards B.
Euronics, they've read this perfectly. They know what's been happening every single round that the Division have won, and now they're going to be walking into a triple stack here. We have that peak down towards the lower ramp there, but already the first kill coming out from the CT side. Threeman going to follow up as well. That's 2. The bomb's going to be dropped in the open. The Molotov's expended from the CT side by Skronk. He's repositioned. They have no idea. He catches out one, turns back around for more, but Cressy not going to be exposing his full body there. He doesn't know exactly where he is, but the second one, the pre-fire through the smoke, that lands, and almost 3, but Cressy, he gets a trade, 6 HP. He can't afford to lose, but Euronics, they get it, 16 rounds to 13. That's going to be the first map of this series concluded. And after a very shaky last few rounds, Euronics, they finally pull it out exactly when they need it, and a triple B stack, it works its wonders, Harry, and it secures in that first map.
Yeah, that is exactly what they needed. Next up is going to be Cobblestone. It is the proving ground for both of these teams. It is, in all honesty, both teams kind of, most played map. Tied, of course, Divizon. They played a hell of a lot of both Cobble and Cash, but they're 4-0 on Cobble right now. Divizon 4-0, and Euronics, they're 6-2, so it's going to be one hell of a close game. We can expect to see a very similar scoreline to what we saw here. But that's going to be coming up very soon, isn't it, Hugo, I believe? We have a quick break first.
That is, yes. We're going to be going for a bit of music, a bit of break, and then we'll be back with you with the second map, as you said, Cobblestone, very shortly between Divizon and Euronics. So we'll see you guys in just a minute. Don't go anywhere.